girls, what is going on and welcome back. It was a great NFL Sunday and there was a lot going on yesterday. My Jets lost unfortunately to New Orleans Saints. It was expected, but it kind of happened. So anyway, we are not really here to talk about the scores because there wasn't really any big upsets last week. Looking at the scores, I mean, there was a couple thumpings. Los Angeles crushed Seattle, whose shirt I'm wearing today for whatever reason. Philly just beat New York, and Jacksonville crushed Houston. Anyway, oh yeah, and the 49ers got a win over Tennessee, which was big. But today, we are here to talk about the two close games that happened last night. The Dallas Cowboys and the Oakland Raiders, and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. They were two of the best games I've seen this year. One was kind of sloppy. Dallas and Oakland, it was a lot of rough, tumble football, a lot of gritty football, but it was a lot of fun to watch. And the Steelers, Patriots, I could say, was the game of the regular season this year. It was fantastic. But we are here to talk about two NFL rules today that are extremely questionable. First, the Calvin Johnson rule, which took place again last night in the Steelers and Patriots game. And then we had an issue with first down markers in the Dallas Cowboys-Oakland Raiders game. So we'll start with Dallas and Oakland. There was a controversial, it was either third or fourth down. I think it was a fourth down last night, where the ball was not inches, centimeters from the first down marker. And they measured it, and they couldn't really tell. So in this decision, then, the referee goes out and pulls out a piece of paper, like an index card. And he slips that between the ball and the first down pylon. And the piece of paper, if you watch the video, goes down, and as it's going between the gap, hits the ball. So I guess that is the indication that there isn't enough of a gap for it to cross the plane. So they called it a first down. Now this, I can't believe after so many years and all the NFL replay tech we have, they're using a piece of paper. A piece of paper. Get a camera. You should have cameras on all the first down markers along the sideline, and you should be able to zoom in and see the replay tech. It should work that way. But they used a fucking piece of paper. And they called it a first down, where if you watch the video, you could slip the piece of paper between the ball and the first down pylon. It slipped between, but as it was slipping between, the tip of the ball hit the piece of paper. But there was air between them where the piece of paper went in. Now, at least in my mind, if it was a first down, there would have been no gap for the piece of paper. I mean, the piece of paper is razor thin, yes, but it shouldn't have fit. It should have, like, as soon as it came down, it should have hit the top of the ball, or the top of the tip of the ball, and not gone down. But it went in between, which means there's gap air there, which should have been not a first down. But they called it a first down, and it was controversial. So I don't know how they are meant to fix this. I mean, the amount of camera work they would need to get an image of that inch of the field and break it down and really zoom in on it is massively difficult. But it can easily be done. They zoom in all the time to look at first downs. But, I mean, this is where I think that there needs to be some sort of line in the middle of the field somewhere. Like, you know how on TVs there's a yellow and a blue line to indicate for the fans watching on television the line of scrimmage and the first down? There is no line like that in the real game. It's done by line of sight. Now, usually there's no issues with this. The pylons are usually pretty damn accurate. But in a situation like this, I mean, I've never seen this happen before. And that was the same reaction of the players and coaches from both teams. They'd never seen this happen before. Of course, the Cowboys were all in favor of it, and the Raiders were kind of really, really pissed. I mean, they had a right to be. So they've got to figure out a way to fix this in this sort of situation. There's got to be some better way than a piece of paper for them to tell if it's a first down or not. The fact that we're using a piece of paper with all the technology we have is ridiculous. Alright, we're going to move on to topic number 2, which is the Calvin Johnson rule. Now, if you watched the Steelers and Patriots game last night, Jesse James was throwing a ball about 10 yards from the end zone. He caught it, had possession, made a football move, and reached out to cross the pylon and put the ball into the end zone. Now, it looks all like a touchdown, and that's what it was originally called, a touchdown. But then, as it was whatever time, as you know now in the NFL, all scoring plays are reviewed, as I think is right. It should be. All scoring plays should be reviewed. I mean, even ones that are guaranteed scores, they're still quickly looked at and then whatever. But they are all reviewed. Now, it came back that as he was putting the ball into the end zone, he lost control of the ball as he hit the ground. The ball hit the ground and came loose, even though it was still in his possession. So this has happened before, and it was ruled an incomplete pass. And in the end, that very much cost the Steelers the game in the end. So it did. 2 plays later, there was an interception, and that was the game. So in the past, there has been previous incidents of this. Of course, we know Calvin Johnson in, I believe it was 2010 against the Bears or 2011. That's where the Calvin Johnson rule came into play, where he made an amazing catch and got both feet down and then kind of slammed the ball to the ground to kind of save himself from taking a nasty fall, as he would have landed awkwardly, and the ball kind of helped him balance and not injure himself. And the pass was ruled incomplete because he put the ball on the ground. Yeah. So that came into that rule, and it the rule was changed after that to where you need to have possession completely all the way through, which is understandable, but there needs to be exceptions to the rule, and the rule needs to be adjusted. It's a flawed rule, but it was interpreted correctly in this case. It happened again with Dez Bryant in the playoff game in 2014 against the Packers, which then the Cowboys lost subsequently. Then it happened again yesterday with Jesse James and the Steelers. Now, according to the way the rule is written, this was interpreted correctly. Jesse James caught the ball, he made a football move, but as he was reaching into the end zone, he didn't maintain control as he crossed the pylon, and the ball hit the ground and somewhat came loose, which is... the rule was interpreted correctly in this case, but it is an extremely flawed rule. Now, there needs to be exceptions for this rule, where if someone had possession before they came into the end zone, or if someone had both feet down already in the end zone, or if they crossed the pylon already, then the play at that point should be over. As soon as the ball crosses the pylon in possession of someone's hands, the play should stop. There should be nothing else, but if it's not caught in the end zone, and someone is running across the pylon, as soon as the ball crosses the pylon, it should stop. It shouldn't have to get to the situation where it hits the ground. The game should stop. The play should be finished. Touchdown. End. Now, this has happened in several situations twice now. The first game, it wasn't really important. It was a regular season game. Neither team was really in the race for anything. So it was just kind of a fluke call that kind of sparked some controversy. But then the rule came into place, and it was never really thought of. It was one of those rules that was never really used ever because it almost never happened. But the next 2 times it happened, it has come into play in 2 big games. A 2014 playoff game, which cost a team their season, and a game which was fighting out between 2 teams on top of the AFC in the playoff race. And now both are 11-3. But if it had gone the other way, the Steelers would be 12-2, and the Patriots would be 10-4, and the Steelers would have locked up the top spot. It cost the Steelers a guaranteed finish at number 1. So, do I think this rule is going to change? Yes. Eventually, I do think this rule is going to have to change. It's going to be adjusted at some point. It won't, I don't think it'll be for a while because, like I said, the situation doesn't happen often. It happened in 2010, 2011, 2014, 2017. Now, The only reason this seems to really be blown out of proportion, instead of just like people say, oh, it's a stupid rule, bad call, and then they forget about it in a few days, is because it happened in two really big situations. And it's been exemplified and amplified. Now, of course, a 2014 playoff game and a fight for the top of the AFC playoff race. So, in crucial times, they were both at the end of the fourth quarter, in crucial game times. So, that's why this rule has kind of been building so much controversy. Like I said, it usually doesn't come into effect. Like I said, once every couple of seasons it happens. But it's just because it's been in such big situations that this has come up, that I do think they need to make some brief changes to the rule. Like, I agree that the ball needs to be in full possession all the way through the play till the play is called dead. I agree with that, but there needs to be some exceptions woven into the rule. Like I mentioned before about getting into the end zone if you didn't catch it in the end zone. Like, if a guy runs into the end zone with the ball in his hands, or reaches out to the pylon to score a touchdown, the ball's gonna hit the ground. Because that's the end of the natural motion, is gravity brings the ball down and the arm down. So there's no way they can physically control that. I mean, you could somewhat try and get your hand under and go like this, but when you're reaching out, you usually reach out like this. So it's just kind of hard. It's one of those rules that you really need to really kind of just adjust to kind of suit the situation better. Like we said, it doesn't happen often, but it needs to be fixed. So that is going to be it for my kind of rant video on the NFL today. I'll be posting a speculation baseball video also later today. As always, please like, please subscribe, and please comment below on what you thought, what rule changes you think need to happen to these two rules that I talked about today. So, yeah, I mean, it was a fun day in the NFL yesterday. I mean, I'll go over the standings real quick for those of you who want to know. Playoff-wise, the Steelers are in, the Patriots are in, and the Jaguars are in. The Jaguars have had a hell of a turnaround this season. They're 10-4. Then, right now, rounding out the playoffs is the Chiefs, the Titans, and the Bills. And the Ravens are tied with the Bills for 6th and the Titans for 5th. So that is wrapping things up. And then the NFC, it's the Eagles and the Vikings. The Rams, the Saints, the Panthers, and the Falcons. Of course, the Packers are pretty much done. I mean, they could still get in, but they need a lot of help. And there goes my Super Bowl pick for this year. I mean, my Super Bowl pick for the NFC went down the drain when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So, but my AFC Super Bowl pick is still pretty good. I'll be doing a video once the playoffs start and the regular season ends about how we did. In the NFC, I was pretty bad with predictions this year. In the AFC, I did a bit better. Not great, but a bit better. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Please like, please subscribe to Richard the Guru. It is slowly getting there. I am thankful for everyone who's watched and subscribed so far. Thank you, and I will keep posting, and I hope you keep enjoying the content. Have a great day, guys.